Here you go, budget fish cakes that don't taste budget. They're so good you'll forget they're tinned. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we are making a fantastic meal. It's budget friendly. We are making budget fish cakes that do not taste budget. We have got a couple of cans of mackerel. Now this is in tomato sauce. And we'll get on with that in a second. In here I have potatoes already peeled, cubed in water. I'm going to stick these on to boil. Now I am going in with a little bit of salt, not much, just a little bit in there, and I'm sticking that on behind me whilst we crack on at the front. Now what we're doing, we are boiling the potatoes for mash, and we are going to mash them with butter only, no milk or cream or anything, just butter. Now we've got a little bit of prepping to do, and I mean it's simple. We've got an onion to dice up, smash a bit of garlic. Now if you don't want to use garlic, don't put it in, that's up to you. And we're going to zest a little bit of lemon. We're using mackerel. Mackerel is a bit more robust. We need to give it a bit of flavour in there. Now what I am going to do, which is a massive surprise probably to everyone, we are going to make a tomato sauce out of the tomato sauce in those tins. They are full of umami flavours. There's a lot of goodness in there, and we are going to utilise that and make a sauce to go with our fish cakes. So we want some really nice little bits of onion, and you can fine dice it as fine as you want. It's up to you, and any which way you want. We're going to have this going in our sauce. Okay, so we need to whack that in there. We've got a little bit of garlic to mash for both here. Like I say, if you don't want to use garlic, don't use it. And I'm going to put that in with the onion. Okay, let's just do this one. There you go, that can go with that one. And you can use parsley or dill, and I'm using cilantro, coriander. I'm going to give this a little bit of an Asian flavour for me today. It's your choice. You know, there's nothing set in stone in cooking. Don't be fooled. Everybody tries to tell you there's only one way. Okay, we are on with our tinned mackerel. You know, it's brilliant. You know, we don't have any cooking to do whatsoever, which is absolutely superb. Okay, we want that fish out of there. So just take the fish out, but keep the tomato sauce. A lot of flavour in there. Okay, now what we're looking for, we want to flake this. We don't want massive bones in here. If there's any big bones, you discard them. Unless you want to eat them for extra goodness, that is entirely up to you. They're already cooked. They can be eaten. As you can see here, look how they crumble. So you can eat these without a problem. So that's extra goodness really. So if you've got those bones like that, just give them a little squish like that, look. And now they're all broken up. As far as our fish goes, we need to just flake it gently. It's tin fish, it's already been cooked. So we don't need to mush it up. So there you go. I'm going to put that fish in a small bowl. So I don't want any more of the tomato sauce. I want to actually use the tomato sauce that we've kept. So there you go. There is our fish in there. Look, our mackerel, and look how moist that is already. This is what's make this a fantastic high-class meal. Potatoes cooked, drained, in there butter only, and don't go too much. Just enough to mash. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, obviously to taste, whatever you fancy. And then mash it up. Now we have to mash it up and we have to let it go cold. So grab yourself a bowl and just put your mash in there. So just let that cool down. Okay, when your potato has cooled down a little bit, we can actually go in there with our tinned fish. We want to try and keep the flakes of this together, so don't mush it all when we come to mix it together. You know, we just nice and gently fall through with the fork, because if not, we're just going to end up with mushy bits. But we actually want to see fish through the fish cake. In there, our garlic, our onion. In there, our herb. In there, we want some lemon zest. And we want a couple of tablespoons of corn flour in here. Now, we've got very, very wet fish. It's been sat in that tomato sauce forever, and we've got a lot of moisture in the potato, so we need to bring this together. Now we're not going to use an egg as it will be too wet. Now again, whoops, it's seasoning of choice. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in and a little bit of salt. I'm just going to bring that in there. Okay, we need to be making some patties. So it's nice and straightforward. Now I'm going to do about 6 patties out of here, and they do feel quite damp, quite loose. So we've already gone more on this one. So let's just do this, and then we get an idea what we're working with. So it's just a case of, let's have some patties. Just roll it out in your hand. Look, it don't have to be serious on this, you know. You can be as serious as you like. You can weigh them all out if you're so worried. Up to you. We just want some little patties, which we are going to chill down in the fridge. So there you go. Fantastic patties in the fridge. We chill those for a minimum of 30 minutes. Try and get them a little bit firmed up before we actually bread them. Okay, we want to be using absolutely everything out of these tins. That is going to give us the best budget meal ever. We want a little bit of olive oil in there. A couple of tablespoons. Want a little flame on. Now we're not going to go too high on this, and we're going to saute the onion and the garlic. So it is really nice and steady. In we go. Now you could put the onion in, then you could put the garlic in. Up to you. Or you can just put them both in. We're not cooking it for any length of time as such. We want a little saute on. Take out that rawness and don't brown it. So we really are going to get the maximum value out of those 2 tins of mackerel. Okay, we got a nice little cook going on in there. We're going in there with the remainder of that tomato sauce out of those tins. We also want to be going in there with about a tablespoon of tomato puree, tomato paste. Now give that a little cooking in there. Now I can smell how sour this is from that tomato paste, so we will be adding a little bit of sugar in there. Get it stirred in. I want a little bit of pepper in there. Salt to taste, pepper to taste, up to you, a little bit of salt. We are going in there with some mixed herbs. You can put basil in, Italian herbs, anything like that. We just want a pinch of mixed herbs in there. So now we've got a sauce going on. Smells amazing. And it's quite thick already. Splash of water, not much. Want to freshen it up where we zested that lemon. What about, I don't know, just up to a tablespoon, not much more than that. We'll freshen it up. Nice little stir on there. And now we're going to get those flavours coming together in there. So we've got a fabulous sauce going on there. You need to give that a taste test for seasoning. Oh man, delicious. Tomatoey, a little bit garlicky. Got that herb in there. You can taste a bit of mackerel, tomato. That is superb. Okay, that's as easy as that. Now all you've got to do is keep it warm or rewarm it. Up to you. Now what I will note with this, if you wanted to add a little bit of butter in there to make it more buttery and glossy, but it's glossy enough, look. Okay, there is our fish cakes out of the fridge. Now what we're going to do is the normal bog standard breading. Now these are very soft. We are just going to cover those in flour, nice and gently. Don't rush it. Egg, breadcrumbs. Now I've got these orange breadcrumbs again. Hopefully I'll be able to use them up. Now if you can remember to do dry hand, wet hand, good on you. I always forget. Always. So there we go. That is our fish cakes to be. How easy is that? Get washed off, get fried. Get some oil in a pan. Okay, when you think you've got your oil hot enough, in there with our fish cakes. Don't burn your fingers. Quite big, these ones. We got one left that we can't just get in just yet. Not to worry, we'll get it in a minute. So what I will say is, when you've got these like this, you can freeze these. So this can go in the freezer. You freeze it. When it's frozen, you put it in a bag. Put a little bit of parchment paper in between or a box, and you can have individual fish cakes to go any time. The usual when frying, come on. Oil hot enough to cook the outsides and warm through the inside without burning. It has to be hot enough to cook. If the oil is not hot enough to seal, the fish cakes will soak up the oil. And we are going to turn these a couple of times to give us a nice coating on here. They smell wonderful already. They really do. They're cracking. Okay, we're going to go back over. We need this to be coming hot all the way through. And this is going to be our best side, obviously. Oh, look at those. And we're going to go back again. We want a little bit more colour on that side, actually. Just a tad. We don't want to go too crazy. Let's have those out of there. Come on. Oh yeah. Look at that. There you go. They are really spectacular. Look at that for budget food. Come on, serve up. Some of that fabulous tomato sauce we've just made on there. Oh, look at that. On there. A little bit of sauce. Up to you. A little bit of lemon. Okay, so it's just a case of, let's have a look. Come on. Oh, listen to that crunch in there. Look at that. That is absolutely amazing. And a little bit of parsley, coriander or dill. Come on, we're serving this up with some new potatoes, some garden peas. Listen, crunchy, crunchy, in we go. Oh, come on. That is off the charts. That is off the charts. Oh, that is delicious. And that sauce. Oh, man. Oh, we got that little bit of lemon as well, look. Absolutely fantastic quality food. Come on. I am blown away. Oh, wow. Come on. That is exceptional. That is how to turn something budget friendly into a sensational meal. That saves you some money. It's going to give you that fish, omega-3 and all that carry on, whatever. We're not a health channel, we're a cooking channel. There you go. If you like what we're doing, share with your friends. Tell them how easy it is to turn a tin of mackerel into a fantastic meal. And if you like what we're doing, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and we'll catch you in the next video. That is sensational. Oh, wow.